The poor caretaker. I fear his long-standing duties here have affected him.
One wonders what that says about me in the long run. Okay, so we have 3 people who have resolve level 3, so I can't actually put together a full medium difficulty mission until Fribois is done being diseased. Alright. Hello everyone. Science Viking here, and it's time to continue playing Darkest Dungeon. Let's see, who would I want to bring with me if I were to do a low difficulty mission? Let's see, so we have a Resolve level 3 Vestal. Is there a Resolve level 2 Vestal? There's a Resolve level 0 Vestal. So, probably Trelli, Vavasseur, Bassange, and then Sordeval is probably who I will bring for the next mission. So, let's see how we can upgrade those. Let's start with the Resolve 0 Vestal to make sure she has all the right abilities. Let's see, she has Divine Grace, but not Divine Comfort. Let's correct that. She has Mace Bash, Judgment, and Hand of Light. So, right out of the box, she really prefers to be in close range, but unfortunately, I don't really have the equipment to support that, and it wouldn't gel with the team I'm planning on bringing her in. I'll just use Dazzling Light. Wait, Judgment? What am I saying? Judgment is a long range. It's just Hand of Light and Mace Bash that are a little odd. Well, let's also change which abilities are equipped. That's better. Let's see if we can upgrade any of Vavassur's abilities. We could upgrade Vulnerability Hex, Daemon's Pull, or Sacrificial Stab. It might be worth learning Abyssal Artillery, but I'm not really convinced, and I don't want Hands from the Abyss because it can reduce the torch level. Let's see about Sword of All. So, I might actually want to get Rampart. I've never used it before, but it's been suggested that I should look into it since it can both knock back and stun, and what? Nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. I am not concealing a crash. I definitely didn't have a computer crash in the middle of this, and I'm definitely not trying to hide one. What are you talking about? But so it moves him forward, but it can be used when he's in the frontmost position. So he could just stay in the front and use it to knock enemies back and stun them, but he can also use it to move if he's been displaced. I like that. And let's upgrade it. And let's see about Bassange. Mainly I want him to have Collect Bounty and Mark for Death. Flashbang is interesting, but it requires him to be in center rear, which is actually not a bad position for him. But I think I want to try Caltrops instead of Finish him, because I don't actually get... He's going to be in my... I mean, not center rear. He's going to be in my center front position. I think I want to get Caltrops. It can be used from that position. I want Sword of All to be all the way in the front. And while Come Hither is good, I have Daemon's Pull, which is better. Alright, now let's look into upgrading equipment. Let's see. Sword of All gets priority, except he's maxed out, followed by Vavasseur, who is also maxed out, and the 2 people who are Resolve level 0 and cannot be upgraded. Let's see if the Nomad has anything good. She does! The Recovery Charm, plus 40% healing received. And the Blighting Satchel would be very nice if we had a Grave Robber. Oh, I'm gonna have to sell some stuff if I'm gonna afford the item. Okay, hold shift. Okay, so I can sell Dismas's head for 2,250 gold, and the minus 10% max HP and plus 20% stress is exceedingly dangerous to equip, so yes. For now, I'm actually going to hold on to Barristan's head because plus 25% prot is extremely powerful. What else do we need to sell? I'll sell the Blight Charm. Blight resistance is somewhat useful, but not that useful. And we have multiple debuff charms. I can afford to sell one of them. Also, while equipping 2 agility talons could be good for a bounty hunter, I have the unmovable helmet, so really having 2 agility talents is kind of redundant. Let's see, I'm actually going to sell the Stalwart Buckle. It gives plus 5% critical hit rate, which is good, but it's at the expense of both increased stress and decreased virtue chance. Though it would be interesting to have a piece of equipment that gives you increased virtue chance and increased stress. And just to be on the safe side, I'm also going to drop the Witch's Vial. Still pretty useful, but I think I can afford to part with it, to get the Recovery Charm. And that is really all of the spending we can afford to do, so let's embark. Ah, the Alluring Siren, an upgraded... Why are you looking at me like that? Did something happen? There wasn't a crash. Okay, so we could go for the Exterminate mission in the Cove, which would get us the Beast Slayer's ring. If we went to the Weald, we could either get another Lock of Patience, plus 10% virtue chance could be good for the Abomination. Alternatively, we could get the Selfish Pendant, which only works for the Hellion, but gives the Hellion minus 15% stress. Could get another Agility Talon. I'm actually going to go for the Lock of Patience. Get rid of the one Vestal, because this is beneath her experience. And we have our Resolve level 0 Vestal. We have Sword of All, and we have Assange, our Resolve level 0 Bounty Hunter. Alright, I'd say we've got the right ability set. However, for the Vestal, we need some equipment. So I'm quick to lifting the equipment from Cardinal to give it to the other Vestal. Alright. With the Churgeon's Charm and the Sacred Scroll. In addition, I'm going to replace the Book of Intuition with the Recovery Charm. And I can actually... Let's see, do I want to trade the Book of Relaxation for the Book of Intuition? Yeah. Being surprised is very bad. Alright, everyone is equipped. We have decided on our mission. Let's provision. Okay, this is a short mission, so the only real purpose of food is to stave off hunger. A couple of shovels, the usual anti-venom bandages, some medicinal herbs, a few keys, a little holy water. I'm gonna need to sell back some of the keys, holy water, and herbs for more torches. 8 should be plenty though. And embark. Oh, so the fungal artillery have... Beware the Mark of Death. Does that just refer to the conventional mark effect, or is it a special effect that they can...
Corruption has soaked the soil, sapping all good life from these groves.
Okay, this
Let us burn out this evil.
This is actually going to be fairly straightforward. Let me quick rearrange Sword of All's abilities, though. I'm going to replace Command with Rampart. Now we have our first loot. Left luggage. Someone probably dropped it. It has a lock on it. Well, we have a solution for that. Ooh, crests and money. And our first fight. What are these guys? Ectoplasm. I would expect them to have high prot, being kind of intangible, but it doesn't seem that they do. Right. I'll use Damon's Pull on the Cultist Acolyte. And dazzling light on... I can't hit the one all the way in the back, so one of the ectoplasms.
The light, the promise of safety.
I get the impression that the skeleton inside the ectoplasm is a previous adventurer that
Press
it's
disadvantage.
devoured.
Give them no quarter.
Assange's stress level is a little high. Alright, let's mark this ectoplasm for death. Wow, Eldritch Push worked. Well, one push deserves a pull, so let's do that. Just have you move back one to get the bounty hunter closer to being in position. And you can still use collect bounty on the ectoplasm.
Be gone, fiend.
And crush on the acolyte,
Eradicated.
leaving just the ectoplasm. Slime doesn't seem to be that dangerous of an ability. Flashbang, which also shuffles, though he resisted it. And Sacrificial Stab should finish the job.
Another one
Yep.
falls.
Take some loot.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
And... oh, so unlock strong boxes, the key doesn't do anything. And the chest is trapped, and the occultist is poisoned. Hooray! And the crate's empty. It's kind of weird, we've had a really long, kind of a run of medium luck. It's not really bad luck, it's just kind of not great. Now let's open up with Damon's Pull. And crush.
Obliterated.
You just move yourself forward one. And dazzling light on one of the dogs. Let's see if we can stun that. We cannot. Unfortunately, it missed. Well, one of them did. That did not miss.
Blow to body and brain.
How much is he bleeding for? 1 damage per round for 5 rounds. It's not actually that bad. And they are clearly very fast. Let's try out Rampart. Well, I'm not... It missed, but I'm not going to hold that against it. Oh, Vulnerability X to make absolutely sure that this rabid Nasher dies. Dazzling Light on the other one, because it resisted stun before, so it didn't gain the buff that makes it resistant to stun. That's an interesting thing to say. And collect bounty.
Back to the pit.
Yeah, you are not Eldritch. Well, I'll use Vulnerability Hex on you, too. And crush.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Didn't even need to benefit from the marked effect. Okay, Fungal Scratcher, Fungal Artillery, and the Nasher. Well, let's open up with Damon's Pull. Followed by Rampart to throw the Nasher back and stun him. And now the Fungal Artillery is in rather an unenviable position. However, since I have Finish him, I'm just going to remove the Nasher.
With impunity.
Use Dazzling Light on the other artillery. And fail. Well, Bounty Hunter's marked, that isn't good. Yep, so the mark the loading screen was talking about is conventional marking. Okay, I'm gonna use Defender, so that they're now targeting someone who isn't marked. And Rend the Marked isn't so much of a threat if the one who does it, if he can't. The fact they can mark me isn't much of a threat if he's dead, so he can't use Rend the Marked. So now he is marked, and on the bounty hunter's next turn, I can finish the job. Oop. Well, I guess I'm using Retribution next turn. How much are you blighted for? Very little. Alright, collect bounty. Only did 9. Yeah, this guy's prot is pretty high. Unfortunately, we mostly don't really have damage over time abilities just yet.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
Alright. Use Weakening Curse just to wear this guy down even farther. Let's use Divine Comfort this time.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
And, since you were marked anyway, Retribution. And this should finish off the Fungal Scratcher.
Maintain the offensive.
Escape Cloud is a bit of a problem, until we do that anyway. Okay, Vulnerability Hex.
A powerful blow.
Collect Bounty. Alright, we're making progress. That just leaves this one. And the simple answer is Dazzling Light. And that does it.
The onslaught. Destroy them all.
Now, these guys have been posing a real problem. The fungal guys are actually quite a threat. Ooh. And we had our first
Mechanical
trap.
hazards, possessed by evil intent.
We're gonna need to use some healing pretty soon. Fortunately, we have 8 food in the vessel. And I apparently passed a curio without noticing it. Light up another torch. And the pack contains loot, including another journal page. As we traveled from the hamlet, an eerie dread grew. We all felt it, but did our best to shrug it off. Sleep was difficult until Raven, one of my companions, passed me a bitter concoction. The most devout of us, Therian, prayed softly for our safety. Superstitious, but well-intentioned, I suppose. I am already falling asleep. Well, we know how that's gonna end, because, well, we know what game we're in. Ooh, undead. Let's see, and none of you are Eldritch. Well, let's prevent the Rabid Gnasher from charging by pulling him forward right now. Well, I thought it would prevent him from charging, but apparently you can use Rabid Rush even if he's all the way in the front. Let's see, I'll use Flashbang on one of the Bone Rabble. And Crush on the Rabid Gnasher.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
And let's just heal everyone. Of course, we get the critical healing on the one who needs it the least. And bump in the night. Show of hands, is anyone surprised? Well, may as well use Vulnerability Hex on the one we can't stun.
Power.
And Crush on the one that isn't marked.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Ow. And Divine Grace on the seriously injured bounty hunter. And finish this guy. Just do a measly 13 damage to some of
These
these
nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
I actually feel kind of bad when I encounter enemies like that, where they have so few hit points that marking them and then collecting bounty isn't even meaningful. Vulnerability Hex. I can pull the artillery, but I actually really don't want to. I want to get rid of the guys that have Rend the Marked. Alright, now let's start with Crush to wear his hit points down to make sure Collect Bounty will finish him. And there we go. That's one. As long as Mark Prey keeps missing, I don't need to worry about retribution. And Mark Prey has stopped missing. Ow. Alright. Well, I can Mark Prey too. And Divine Grace. Ooh, just what we needed. Critical hit. And Defender on the Bounty Hunter. Of course, oh, and the marking even missed. Oh, yay. And, yep, more diseases. Now the occultist has the Black Plague. Well, let's collect some bounty.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Well, let's go with Divine Comfort this time, since everyone's damaged.
Sedated.
So, the fungal artillery... Oh, come. Is the black? He had the Black Plague. Now he has the Red Plague. Is it just gonna be like a plague rainbow by the end of this? Okay, let's use Damon's pull on the less damaged fungal artillery, which also removed the corpse. And he immediately uses Escape Cloud. I was hoping he wouldn't get a turn to act that quickly. Oh, collect bounty. And fungal art and Damon's pull at least removed the corpse.
A momentary abatement.
Yep. Plague Rain. So basically, these guys have the Plague Doctor's what's it called? These guys have the Plague Doctor's Plague Grenade ability. Oh, they're not gonna live much longer. See if we can finish him off with this. He is Eldritch. There is too much plague.
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
I'm gonna gamble that this is a holy water situation. Nope. Let's just check it. Nothing's left inside there. Well, fortunately, this isn't that long of a quest. 2 ectoplasms. These guys don't really seem to have anything particularly dangerous they can do. Oh, sacrificial stab. I'll get rid of one of them. I'm gonna use flashbang rather than causing damage this turn. Also, now we have 2 different move abilities that don't clear corpses. I've gotten really used to the idea of move abilities clearing corpses because Damon's Pull and a few others do clear corpses. Alright. That's the end of that encounter. We have had some pretty poor luck with scouting this mission, though.
Brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay, let's go with it. This seems very holy watery. Warrior of Light, what does that do, I wonder? Oh, I suppose I can check. Plus 10% damage if the torch is above 75%. That's actually quite good. And bandits. Guys, I have some advice for you, oh my dear bandits. Run. Just trust me. There is nothing here that is worth dealing with this. There is not enough treasure to justify all of the blight and the poison and the blighted poison and the full spectrum of diseases that we've apparently got here. We have every disease on the rainbow. Just run. This place is not worth being. Though, I'm gonna be honest, with accuracy like that,
Compassion is a
I'm not really
in the fever pitch of battle.
I'm really not sure where I was going with that sentence. Gonna be honest, we've encountered the most incompetent group of bandits ever, so I suppose it doesn't surprise me that they're also exploring in a place they really shouldn't. Come on, where's the love? We humans should be sticking together right now. There's fungus that wants to, like, turn us all into fungal zombies. We should really be worrying about that. I'm going to use Crush on the Cutthroat, because the Bloodletter will die the next time the Bounty Hunter gets a turn. I should use Sacrificial Stab to get rid of the Cutthroat. Rain of Whips is going to miss again, that's good. Blanket Fire may not. Ow. Though it does impress me that the, and Damon's Bow.
Impressive.
It does impress me that the Man-at-Arms consistently takes 0 damage from Blanket Fire. That's quite a shield he's got there. Now, stop whipping the Vestal. It's not nice, stop doing it. Alright, since the Bloodletter isn't marked anymore, let's just finish him off with Crush.
Size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
That's the end of the quest. We're going to continue adventuring, because that being the end of the quest confirms that there are no more room battles. So I can keep exploring and potentially find loot. Like heirlooms. And hunger. There's also hunger that we can find. Alright, get to the end of this hallway. I believe we have had no successful scouting this mission. Even though we have no, the trinket doesn't increase the scouting chance. The trinket increases the chance of surprising enemies. Alright, medicinal herbs are probably good for this. No, they're not. See what antivenom does. Okay. I'm not risking it if I don't have a interaction. Maybe holy water would have been good.
Nature herself, a victim to the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
And that's it. This is everything there is to see. So now, having explored everything and found a few extra crests, let's go back to the hamlet.
Driving out corruption is an endless battle, but one that must be fought.
Okay, 3,000 gold, 3 more crests, combined with the 12 we found as loot. And 1 portrait. And now we have 2 more heroes who are capable of, Oh, so Vavasaur instead of Quick Draw is a Warren's Tactician. That's not bad at all. And Sword of All hates the unholy. There are worse things to hate. And also Basange and Traley made it up to Resolve level 1.
Woe to the sheep. Or does the absence of the shepherd not invite the wolves?
The abbot has sequestered himself in the wine cellar, ostensibly to consider how best to help his parishioners cope with the deluge of godless horrors that plague this land. I guess he's hoping to find the solution at the bottom of the bottle. Anyway, Vavasaur has 2 different diseases, the Black Plague and the Red Plague. So he has reduced blight resistance, reduced disease resistance. I suppose that explains how he got a second disease. Reduced max HP and reduced speed. And he also has reduced bleed resistance, further reduced max HP, and reduced critical chance. I'll go with the Black Plague first, but I'm treating him for both in the long run. It's just a rash. Why do you need that knife? Alright. Let's see, so who do we have that's resolved level 3? So, Sword of All, Fribois, Merriere, Cardinal, and Marley. So if I had a team of a Vestal, a Houndmaster, a Man-at-Arms, and a Bounty Hunter, we could actually do a medium difficulty mission. I will consider it. Now with 26, We have 26 crests. What would it take to upgrade the nomad wagon? Using up all of our crests, we can increase the number of trinkets per time period to 6. But I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna pass on upgrading any structures when you have so few heirlooms. Let's see. Sword of All and Traley are staying back. If I'm doing a medium difficulty mission, Sword of All should probably get some stress relief. As should Visage. It's not critically high, but it's a little high, so I'm going to send those two off to stress relief. The others are actually pretty good. Vavasur finished the mission with 0 stress, I believe, which is impressive. Now, let's pop by the guild and see what we can upgrade for the heroes we're planning on using. Let's see. Could upgrade Target Whistle to cause it to reduce the enemy's prot by more and also make it more likely to have that effect. Could upgrade Blackjack to increase the stun chance, but I don't want to do that because he won't be using Blackjack in this mission. He'll be in center rear where he can't use it. Instead, I'll upgrade Hound's Harry because if we already have a Vestal and a Man-at-Arms, I really have little reason to equip Lick Wounds and no reason to equip Blackjack. Let's see about Cardinal. Okay, the 2 healing abilities are maxed out. I'm going to increase Dazzling Light. The higher level it is, the greater chance that it can overcome the stun resistance that an enemy acquires upon being stunned. And for you... well, Rampart was good. I'm upgrading. I'm learning Rampart, and then I'm upgrading it. Upgrading it again will increase the probability of knockback and the probability of stun. And the accuracy. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see what to equip. So let's drop Bellow for Rampart. So Retribution, Defender, and Crush. I like how Retribution combines with Defender. I think I'm going to drop the Focus Ring and the Critical Stone for you, though, because neither is actually good for this class. I don't know what I was thinking when I equipped these two. These would be good for a Bounty Hunter, but the primary purpose of a Man-at-Arms is to take damage. Instead, I am giving you Sword of All's trinkets, because those are actually much better suited to a Man-at-Arms. The Protection Stone, reduced speed in exchange for extra prot is very useful, and increased healing received is also very useful. Alright. And then... may as well upgrade Defender. That having 22% extra prot could be very useful. And let's check out for Blah. I see. If I were to upgrade Mark for Death... I don't know where it says how long he marks the target. But it does also increase his own speed. I'll upgrade that a bit. And then... what 4 abilities would I want him to have? I definitely want him to have Collect Bounty. We have a lot of people who can inflict various flavors of stun, so finish him is actually pretty good. I definitely want him to have Come Hither because he's the only one with a pull ability in this team. So, what else though? So after those 3, the options are Mark for Death, Uppercut, Flashbang, and Caltrops. I think Caltrops might actually be the best ability because 2 of the other 3 people have stun abilities, and one of them already also has a knockback ability. So we have a lot of ways of stunning the enemy and throwing them around, but Caltrops being an ability that can just mess with the back line despite not being able to reach them could be very useful. And I'll upgrade this. Alright, let's look into upgrading equipment. Alright. Marrier himself gets highest priority. 1,800 gold. We can only afford to do that once, but I'm doing it. And actually, I'm going to sell some less useful trinkets. Okay, I could sell Barristan's head for 2,250 gold. That is more useful than the small amount, the plus 25% prop, I think. Since it comes with plus 20% stress, unless I had a really reliable way to increase someone's virtue chance. So I think I'm going to do that. It may turn out to be a mistake, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Also, let me see something. Actually, I take away Marrier's protection stone and give him Fribois' heavy boots. -2 speed, once again, not a huge issue because the primary job of the man-at-arms is to take damage. Between Defender and Retribution, he should be the primary target of the enemy and have the hit points and prot to deal with that. So plus 20% prot is extremely useful, and him being moved would be very bad. And Fribois, he can have the unmovable helmet, which is already bounty hunter only, and gives him greater move resistance and greater move accuracy, and has no penalty. I'm even going to leave the focus ring off, because the -8 dodge is actually not really enough. It's actually too high for... You know what? No, I'm going to keep the focus ring. Lower evasion is fine if he can hit like a truck. Anyway... also, I need to rearrange the Vestal equipment again, because we have one good set of trinkets for a Vestal, and so they just have to be traded between whichever Vestal is going on the mission this time. Anyway, this is not actually going to be the end for this episode, but I am going to get us a lovely fresh recording file, so I will be back in a second. Campaign, load campaign.
Once, our estate was the envy of this land.
Alright, I am back, and let's embark on a mid-difficulty mission. So, Cardinal, Marali. There's a unique team name for this, Headhunters. We're replacing Bassange with Fribois, and Sordeval with Marrier. Let's see. I don't want to take on a boss just yet. I've had terrible luck already with medium difficulty missions. So, of the 3 missions that are not boss missions, we have a cleanse mission in the Cove, which will get us Brawler's Gloves, plus 25% damage if in position 1, but reduced critical chance in addition to reduced speed. Definitely has potential. It would actually probably be really good for a bounty hunter in position 1, combined with collect bounty. But let's see what the other options are. Demon's Cauldron. Occultist only increases stun chance, debuff chance, critical rate a little bit, but it also reduces virtue chance and increases stress. I don't like that, but it also gives me 12 deeds, and this being a very rare trinket, I could probably sell it for a lot. So for 12 deeds and 11,000 gold, that could be good. On the other hand, this is a long, medium difficulty mission, or veteran mission. That can be very dangerous. Alternatively, for a medium-length veteran mission, we can get the Tome of Holy Healing, which is Vestal only, is plus 25% healing skills at the cost of reduced max HP. So it's 10% better than the Chirurgeon's Charm. I think I'm gonna go with it more because I don't want to risk a. Well, because it's better than the other two trinkets, and I don't want to risk a long mission on a. I don't want to risk a long mission on medium difficulty yet. I don't think I'm there, and this will still get me 6 demons, which is quite good. Alright. We're gonna need to bring plenty of food because there will be considerable hunger, and also we need to feed ourselves at night. 3 shovels. And not that much antivenom. And bleeding, or bandages, to cure bleeding. And we're going to need to sell something back. Eight torches should do it, though, between the Vestal having an ability that creates light and between the Vestal having an ability that creates light and the one of these days I will remember what words I was trying to use. Between the Vestal having an ability that creates light and the fact that when we camp the light level is reset to full, and the fact that we can find torches. Let's embark before I forget what words are again. And the swine are resistant to disease. Not terribly surprising. Fortunately, we are mostly a direct damage team this time. The majority of the damage over time we inflict is bleeding.
To prosecute our war against the swine, we must first scout their squalid homes.
Okay, this is purely an exploration mission, so I'm skipping this little extra segment. There will be some backtracking in this one, but not too much. Alright, let's disarm the trap. So far, things are going fairly alright. I mean, the sack was empty, but that's not a huge deal. No room battle yet. And the crate is empty. It's almost like someone's been here before. There are no enemies. There are numerous traps.
Curious is the
contradict this
trap
idea.
His efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
But there are no enemies, but all of the crates and sacks are empty. It's like somebody else already went through this place. Okay. Let's go with this room first. Got an obstacle and hunger. Okay.
Such
Alright,
blockages
and use
are
the shovel.
unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
And room battle with treasure. Let's see what the room battle looks like. Okay. Marcher, spawn. So basically, drummer, 2 cultist brawlers, and a swine wretch. Alright. Let's see if we can get rid of the cultist gladiator quickly. Let's start by marking it. And collect bounty.
Decimated.
And dazzling light on the drummer to prevent it from doing anything. And crush on the other gladiator, because, well, I'm planning on doing the same target whistle followed by collect bounty strategy again. I'm not 100% certain he can take that job, that he can take him out in one hit every time. And our good old friend Rend for the Old Gods. And no one is surprised that the swine wretch has very high speed. Oh yay, drums of doom. Wait a second. Are they all faster than us? I believe every member of their team got to go before any of us did. Let's use Dazzling Light on the Wretch this time. He's out of range. Let's use Divine Comfort then. Actually, let's use Judgment on the drummer, see what kind of damage we can do. A little. And Crush on the drummer.
Their formation is broken.
And we've killed the little drummer
Maintain
pig.
the offensive.
Now we just need to kill the gladiator. Well, it would be very nice if Collect Bounty would do that again. And it would! It heard me, and because I asked nicely, it did what I wanted. Well, come over here, little pig. And since he's marked, Hound's Rush deals extra damage. Praise the steadfast hound. That is actually
pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
You done, Ancestor? That's actually a nice perk of the Houndmaster Bounty Hunter comp. Both have the ability to mark targets, and both have the ability to deal extra damage to marked targets. Okay, the skeleton key won't do anything. Not really sure what would. It could be trapped, that's the risk that we're dealing with. Let's move to this room next. Ooh, a new enemy type. Large corpse eater. I'm gonna be optimistic and say that's because it's large corpses. Well, I'm actually just gonna mark the spawn with Come Hither so that I can finish it off with the Houndmaster. So that's at least one enemy we don't have to deal with now. And your stun resistance is high, but not too high. So it's always worth risking it. And Crush. And the fact that this thing is in position 2 doesn't matter, because all of our abilities will hit just as easily on someone that is in position 2. And we have to use Come Hither anyway to mark you. You may have resisted the move, but you're marked. Now I have just one thing to say to you, Large Corpse Eater. Stop resisting! You can pray. Ooh, it marks enemies too. Well, you no longer have extra stun resistance, so well, Rampart failed to stun you. Well, let's see how you handle Collect Bounty. Fairly well is how you handle Collect Bounty. And Dazzling Light will do 0 damage. Worth trying. Well, that did it.
Size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
I probably shouldn't have read that. Well, I mean, obviously in hindsight, since it had a negative effect, I shouldn't have read it. I mean, I probably should have known better. What is this? Shambler's Altar. The sacrifice of fire is the gate to ruin. Place a torch if you crave the void. Okay. I'm gonna guess that if I were to place a torch here, it would summon a powerful enemy, but if I defeat that enemy, I would get valuable rewards. We're just barely surviving a medium difficulty mission, so I'm gonna not. I'm not gonna take any extra risks this time. However, in regards to the overall exploration, things are going pretty well. Okay. And Vomit. I hate that ability. No diseases this time, though. And... how do I want to do it? I'll use the Come Hither strategy again. Oh, right, because it can do that, too. It throws everyone out of whack. Well, I know what I'm using next turn. And in the meantime, Hound's Rush.
Annihilated.
And I'm going to use Divine Comfort, because they've all taken a bit of
Compassion
damage.
is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
And Rampart. Damage them, knock them back, and stun them. And Dazzling Light on the other one, because if it's stunned, I can use Finish Him, too. Yep. Though Finish Him seems to do less damage than Collect Bounty. Let's actually use Hound's Harry. and immediately regret doing so. And yep, he uses Stumbling Scratch, which moves him forward, but moves the other one backward. And I could use Dazzling Light, but I'm going to use Judgment to finish this
Confidence surges as the enemy
because Judgment
crumbles.
deals more damage. And I'll just use Collect Bounty anyway, even though he's not marked. And Crush finishes the job.
Destroy them all.
And we salvage the Unburnt Torch. Wealth within measure. Alright, and I'm going to light that torch immediately. Okay, I'm going to circle around this way. We may not even need to light the campfire. We are not really going through resources for exactly. Wait, what am I kidding? Of course we are. The Collector is going to attack us in a hallway, and we'll just barely defeat him, and then we're going to have to light up a campfire to recover from that. Just, this is what's going to happen. We know it. Okay, so we have somebody with stealth. I don't feel like dealing with the Swine Marcher, so let's pull him. Let's use Dazzling Light on the Reaver, just to remove him for this turn. And Hound's Rush should finish the job. I need to remember to use the dog trees. Let's use Crush on the Reaver. Drums of Debilitation, that sounds very bad. Hook where it hurts. That sounds a lot worse. Minus 10% disease resistance. And vomit. Now we find out what portion of them move faster than us. Alright, I'm going to use the dog treats to increase the Hound's vigor, which increases its damage and accuracy. And Hound's Rush. This should finish. I had to say it. Just had to say it, didn't I? And now he's not marked anymore. Screw it, call drops. Let's use Divine Comfort. Quick, top everyone's health up. Looks like this is going to be a protracted battle. Well, that's okay, we're doing pretty well. Ow. Ow, more. 3 damage for 3 rounds. 3 damage for 2 rounds. That's 6 damage. Using advantages on that. Okay, conventional tactics for the drummer then.
Press this advantage.
That'll do it.
Give them no quarter.
Whoa. Okay, the Reaver needs to die. 3 damage per round, 5. That's not good. Okay, Divine Grace. Top his health back up a bit. Bandage. And target missile. Okay, so on the next turn, when the Bounty Hunter gets to act, he will be able to finish the Reaver off. In the meantime, let's use Crush on the spawn, because I can't hit him with Remnant. And I'm actually going to use Target Whistle. No, I can't. I don't want to use Target Whistle on Horror, so let's use Hound's Harry. Well, that's the end of this guy. Find Comfort this time. Good, 4 to 5 hit points for the entire team is good. I kind of wish that the predicted healing for healing abilities. Okay, that was badass. His the bounty hunter's quote after killing an enemy with a critical hit was just silence. And let's use Rampart. I feel like stunning the Gorer. Instead, I end up missing the Gorer. And And Divine Grace. We need to keep the Houndmaster off of Death's Door. Let's try Rampart again. And finish him. Oh, speeds. Oh, that's actually a neat trinket.
Success.
Okay, what to drop? Holy Water's done me no good. And the dog treats we did use were helpful, but they're not worth holding on to in place of the speed stuff. And in this case, I'm betting that it's the medicinal herbs. And we just gained a holy water as well as... We should have made camp before this. I'm actually gonna pass on everything that's in here. However, I think we should make camp. We're not actually in that bad of shape. We have a whole bunch of extra food. We can use it as an opportunity to reduce everyone's stress, possibly to the point of not being able to...
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
Possibly to the point of not even needing to use de-stressing activities after... I'm going to use Hound's Watch to prevent nighttime ambush. Possibly to the point where we won't need to use de-stressing facilities on these heroes once we're done. I'm going to use weapons practice. And pray to reduce everybody's stress a bit. And now we're down to one time unit, which isn't enough to do anything, so let us rest.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Yeah, I'm really glad there are skills that you can use to prevent those little midnight surprises. Actually, wait a second. So that is probably a holy water. Something that requires holy water, and I just had a thought. Okay, I can't since I passed on the loot from this curio, I can't get it back later. And without holy water, I'm not interacting with that. So we're just gonna miss out on that. Alright. Light a torch. Come hither on the cultist enchantress, because I do not want to be hit with stressful incantation. Unfortunately, she didn't want to be hit with Hound's Rush, and her want was stronger than mine. Well, let's see if Rampart can accomplish the same goal. And stun the large corpse.
The way is
or
lit.
attempt
the
to stun the large corpse.
We require only the strength to follow it.
Okay, fortunately, Weakened Prey doesn't do that much damage, but the reduced damage output is a bit of a problem. As is the Blight. I said I don't want to be hit with stressful incantation. Well, let's use Target Whistle on the large corpse here. And collect mana.
The ground quakes.
Use Dazzling Light on the Enchantress. The Enchantress's evasion is quite high. Wow. Okay, Defender time. And Hound's Rush. Okay, that's one out of the way.
The greater the glory.
Eldritch Pull, which actually won't do you too much good. No, it will do you some. And Caltrops. See if we can finish the Enchantress off. Okay, there is no option other than Divine Grace. And Defender is doing its job. And Come Hither, of course. I meant to use Come Hither, but what I actually used was Spell Traps. Oh. Hound's Harry also misses. Okay, well, let's use Rampart on the corpse because it allows you to move forward. And then take damage. And Blight. Still using Divine Grace on the Bounty Hunter to get him into slightly better shape. That Enchantress is determined. She just, like, the giant Eldritch monster went down fairly quickly, and the Enchantress just will not quit. Well, let's finish the corpse eater with Hound's Rush.
Decisive pummeling.
He's only going to take 2 more damage. Let's use Crush. And miss again. He's going to take 2 more damage over time, so let's just heal him for 12. And let's use Come Hither again. Yeah, the Enchantress has put up a valiant fight, but she's going down. And she's decided to go down swinging. You know, I actually kind of respect that. Well, let's rebuild our torch level a little bit. You shall suffer as I have.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
And we have more skeleton keys, so...
A handsome reward
Wow.
for a task well performed.
Let's throw out the Speed Stone. Let's throw out the medicinal herbs. Let's throw out the shovels. And so this is 1,500 gold. This is 750 to a maximum of slightly more than 1,500. I'll throw out the emerald. And we have successful scouting too. We have a curio, and then there's nothing in this room. I'm not interacting with those books without something to protect myself. And more successful scouting, which tells us nothing we didn't already know. So let's quick return everyone to their default party order. And disarm ourselves a trap, putting the Houndmaster's stress level back down to 0. Well, we're out of food, but no one took hunger damage. Lighting up the last torch. And we're going to have to go back to this room. I'm going to take a slightly zigzaggy path to avoid this trap. And the pack contains loot, including a journal page. We tangled with some unruly louts. Raven called them cultists. They were ferocious but clumsy. However, what I'm taking is the emerald and the gold. Wait, and the journal page. And I'm thinking carefully about how I can make decisions about what to take, and it turns out I can afford to take everything. Alright, got another trap to deal with. That went well. Stress levels are starting to get a little high, and the low torch level is not helping. And let's move this way. Find out what this curio is. What could we use on it? You know what? Just as an experiment, let's just find it. That's what I thought, but I'll leave that. I probably don't have the item that I need for that. And that is the end of the quest. And since we've basically explored the majority of this place, we may as well just go home with what we've got, which is quite a lot. And
the swine folk's labyrinth may yet prove to be navigable.
We've actually managed to finish a medium difficulty or a veteran level quest without major incident. This is new. I like this. Things are starting to look up. And we even have a ton of heirlooms again, in addition to the 6 deeds that we got as a reward. Ho-ho, we're even starting to get resolve level 4 heroes. Okay, Marrier is an unholy slayer. And Marley doesn't like it when it's dark, which is fine. And he also is also an unholy slayer. And Cardinal is bulimic. That is also contagious, apparently, because it's listed as a disease, as well as being sickly and on guard. Alright. Speaking of medical ward treatments that can wipe out more than one disease, let's see.
Let me share with you the terrible wonders I have come to know.
Nope, Vavasur is still has the red plague. I'm gonna treat that. And I may as well treat Cardinal's bulimia. I don't feel like leaving it around. We have enough gold to afford treating it. Now, let's see. We would need 32 deeds to upgrade weaponsmithing, which would mean we'd need to gain 23. Let's see how many we could gain by trading in all of our porters. We can only gain 50. Alright, so we don't actually have enough for that yet. Let's see about the guild. We could upgrade the training regimen, which might actually be good because we're getting more and more heroes whose skills we want to upgrade, and upgrading is getting more expensive. But we're not going to be able to upgrade Instructor Mastery. So, in all honesty, I think I just want to refrain from upgrading anything just yet, because we're so close to being able to upgrade the guild or the blacksmith to be able to further upgrade people's equipment or skills, but we're just not quite there yet, so I think I want to hold out for a little longer. Let's treat some people for stress. Your little Julian Bassange there. The others I think are low enough on stress that we can leave them. And we can afford to upgrade some equipment, I think. But let's see if the Nomad Wagon has anything interesting. Oh, they sell Brawler's gloves. But nothing we really both want and can afford. Anyway, that is going to be the end for this part. Honestly, I want to end before I jinx it and something terrible happens. So, thank you all for watching. As usual, I love you all, and I will see you next time.